Hey everybody out there on YouTube, I'm back again. I know I had a couple requests for doing a couple updates on what my campsite looks like. I'm up here at a friend's cabin up in West Virginia near the Appalachian Mountains. You can see them off there in the distance. This is kind of like semi-primitive slash, comforts of having everything that you want with the truck and the cabin and everything else. But my wife and friends and all them, they slept in the cabin last night right over there. I wanted to try to set up some sort of makeshift bug out situation with what I had packed in just a regular old army green duffel bag, just one of the big green ones. Looks like we actually got a little bit of snow just starting to flurry here. But this is just a little makeshift tent that I took. I believe it's 8x10 camouflage tarp I got from Harbor Freight. Kind of played around with a couple different designs using just the standard grommets that are there on all the corners and stuff, and then folded it underneath so I'd have something dry, and then put like a moving blanket underneath. Like I said, this stuff, all this stuff was inside of a bug out bag, stuffed really tight with a little survival kit. Now I do have a lot of other stuff like to help me out, but mainly everything you see here was made with, a hatchet, like a Gerber pack axe, and a folding saw that I used to cut all my wood up. So this thing really is a nice saw. It does a heck of a job cutting. But so this is a little pocket chair design that I got off of a video on the YouTube. Really cool little design. You basically, the way you make this is you take about 8 feet. What I do is I'm 6'2". I can reach to the top of a stick and a little bit more, and try to find the straightest ones that you can. These are all dead maple that I found down in the woods, laying down, believe it or not. They're really green, but for the most part, a couple of maple, and this looks like white oak right here. So, but basically this pocket chair I made from ripstop nylon material that I got at Joann Fabrics. I also bought a $50 sewing machine off the internet, little brother cheap sewing machine, and that way I could sew up packs and clothing and make my own little camp chairs. So these things are really cool though, because it literally folds up into a little tiny bag that I made here, and same material, but this is ripstop nylon. Has a grid in it. You sew a little tube right here so you can slide your board in across there, and you basically just make a tripod out of it. Lay all these sticks down parallel to each other so that the tops are at the same length. I used a couple nails that I have in my survival pack, and then some cordage just to start it. So when you wrap them all up and they're parallel, when you spread them apart, it actually tightens up that cord, so it gives you a nice tight bond. So then you just spread them out, and then you might make some adjustments on the back leg. You want the back leg to be a little bit shorter, but start with them all the same length, because I've had problems with trying to get the right design, So, and then if you can, try to find a curved stick to sit where your legs are, because you want that to actually kind of be give in a little bit right by your thighs, so you don't have a little bit of fatigue on the back of your thighs when you're sitting around the fire all night long. This is a chair I made a while back. This is all nailed together. It's more permanent. I even took a chisel and notched a lot of the joints there so that they're nice and tight, and literally put it together with old rusty nails that I found in a bucket down in the bottom of the cabin. It was pretty cool. And they had a old deck. So all this was made with literally a handsaw, a little folding handsaw, and a hatchet. Basically this design right here is a little bit more relying on these forward outriggers right here that kind of cantilever out to the front, and right here this is sitting in a wedge right there, which actually kind of worked out because I was able to make a tabletop for it, a little bit of an armrest. This thing has been weight tested. I'm not kidding you. I've had 2 of my heavy buddies and their dogs sitting in their laps, over 600 pounds easily, sitting on the front of this thing, and it's a permanent piece of furniture. I mean, it's been here for almost a year now. Every time I come down, I just kind of customize a little bit more, but pretty cool. Here's another little bug out thing that you can make. We were sitting around drinking beer, so of course we had some extra beer cans. This is a design you can find on the internet. It's kind of like a sterno, but it's a denatured alcohol stove. That thing will cook up a can of beans or soup or whatever you want really fast, and you don't need a lot of fluid. You just get your denatured alcohol from the hardware store, and take 2 bottoms, and you actually just try to get them fit into each other just right, and then poke staggered holes around. I figured the staggered holes work a lot better because you get some directly underneath and some coming out on the sides. I mean, I cooked a pot of just a can of Progresso soup last night in about 4 or 5 minutes. It was warm, you know, and it's 30 degrees out last night. So, and then again, like I said, this is like a little survival kit. So I have a little bit of everything in here, and this is what's cool. Like, you got cordage, some eye hooks in here, some finish nails. These are actually cool because you can use these as clothes hangers. If you're out, you know, and you got to dry your clothes out, you just put up a string line and clip your clothes on. So I keep those whenever I find them laying around. And then the nails, they come in very, very handy just to sturdy up any kind of shelter that you might be making. And then the other side, I have some fishing gear and a couple other things, a little piece of fire starter, and anyways. So that's pretty much what I got set up here today. We just put up a little lean-to just to keep the dew off us last night, because it was like frozen mixture last night, and so I knew that there was going to be a lot of moisture in the air. But really cool place up here. I'm going to do probably a couple more videos while I'm out here. So also I wanted to put one more thing in here on this. Well, first of all, you can see that my backpack's actually hanging from it, which is really cool, because it keeps it up off the ground and everything. But if you wanted to try to make a teepee out of that same tarp that I have over here, literally all you'd have to do is just spread these legs out a little bit more and add one more leg. So you still have a chair during the day, and then what you do is you spread that leg out and add one more in to make a 4-sided teepee. Start at the middle of the tarp and tie it off at the top, right where I have all the cordage up top, and then wrap it around. And then what's going to happen is you're going to have the 4 corners nailed down, but you're also going to have a flap for the doorway on the side. And then what you got to do, all you have to do is, you know, say you just pull this out when you're not using it. I mean, at nighttime when you're getting ready to go to bed or whatever. Let's see if I can get that bad boy out of there. Okay, now that can just get wrapped up around the top and it's out of the way, but you don't even have to take it down. You see what I'm saying? And it turns out pretty cool. I mean, there's a couple different designs you could do with it, and then sometimes, I mean, if you make it big enough, obviously you could put a little fire in the middle and open up the top of the teepee, but that little spread would be a little bit too small to have a fire in. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll put some more videos on later on. Thanks.